And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take Monster out of the fridge and I'm gonna put some soda in the fridge. That way when we wake up tonight, I got some fresh soda. Fresh or cold? Fresh or cold? Both. Both. I'm playing. Look at this. Look at this cherry cloud. Beautiful. Freaking nice, bro. I'm pretty happy about the behind the scene of the intro. The time is eternal. Because in your plane of existence, when you're born, time starts, and when you die, times end. So the time that you're missing is time that was never allowed, and the time that you have was the only time that you have allocated to you. If you lived to 95, you had 95 years. If you lived to 12, you had 12 years. Now, of course, you want to have as much time as possible, but such is fate, such is destiny, such is the grand scheme of things. Everything. This morning is so nice. There's small breeze. The birds are chirping. The eggs my father is cooking. Offering some toasts. He started to fucking love my father, but he started to give me some whole wheat. It's like, oh, it's healthier, dude. You know what else is healthy? Grass. Are we eating grass? Wonder why. Just saying. Very aggressive when it comes to food. So yeah, I wanted to apologize this morning to come and do an intro. Didn't have much to say, so I guess deserving apologies. Lately it's been very. Yesterday was negative. The day before was negative. What about that? My family drama, just the family drama. Sometimes I feel bad putting this online. I feel bad while talking about it so publicly, but I don't understand. This is my cheers. Salud, zdrovia, santé, kampai. This is delicious. This is delicious. Yeah. So this is the only like sort of place to express myself. I don't have a journal. I never had a journal. My father bought me a journal. My father also went to my would go to my bedroom when I wasn't there. Go through my shit. The journal was not safe. Like, wait a second, he's gonna be able to read it. No, technically speaking, he wasn't gonna be able to because I had the worst writing possible. I was like, what is the heck is this chicken feet shit? My son wrote. Is that a is that a hi? Is that a bonjour? What is that? But I had to come up with my own ways to be discreet. Yeah, that's why I have such a bad handwriting. I wanted to be discreet. Yeah. It's not nothing to do with the fact that I didn't listen in school. Yeah. It was all a plot to bomb my own knowledge. You just say life? No. I'm drinking Monster. Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. What did I give you the hand? Because I was listening to crispy pizza. And they're probably Italian, so gotta present. Gotta do an even distribution. 100%. No flop jalap. Bless you. Flop jalap. Imagine if the said flash up, they sneeze. It's gonna be a magic trick. Fun fact is, you probably didn't hear them sneeze. Fun fact is, probably think I'm crazy. Crazy is just saying people you don't understand. Insanity is just people thinking out of your box of comprehension. See some outlandish things. You hear stories about Jeffrey Dahmer. You hear about John Gacy. You hear stories about freaking. That's crazy, people. I was watching yesterday. Should I say it? Stephen King. Before I even start, I love you. Yep. I was watching The Shining yesterday. You know, I'm cool like that, I guess. Cool like that. De vera shira, de bella ciao. Oh, today I'm not gonna be able to talk. Yeah. First of all, I'm tired. Second of all, I'm in a good mood for the first time like the whole week. Third of all, I got a whole box of Oreos in my vein. Forget about it. I'm not gonna make a lick of sense, but there's something that has makes some sense because it's very important. Today marks the end. Today marks the end of Little Stroll. I will no longer be walking the streets lishy. I will be biking. So, be an announcement. So that's an announcement, but hey, you wanted variety? I give you wheels. Next time you want variety, I will give you wings, but I haven't figured out powder art yet. If people want to want more variety, I'm gonna have to come up with teleportation, time travel. Ooh, it'll be a busy Monday. Today's Monday, by the way. No, it's not, you dummy. It's Tuesday. So yeah, what they talk about? Nothing important as per usual. Yeah, I was talking about how you know, I do feel bad that I'm putting all of this on you, Ben, and I'm filming this, talking about this, but I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have. That's not true. I got people I've talked to, but I don't want to bother them, which is bother them. And as you maturing is understanding that people have their own shit. Maturing is so when you're young. I was young, yeah. It was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, back in the VHS era, back in the blockbuster days. Most of you guys don't even know what a blockbuster is. He's like, I'm busting nuts on a block. No, not busting nuts on a block. I'm going to Blockbuster, getting some VSF, not HIV, VSF. And, oh, I died. Died a painful death. You shall be remembered, Angry Birds. Clicking a button, retry. Nice. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, Queen. De vera cheetah. Da bella ciao, bella ciao, bella. Maturing is understanding that when people used to tell you you're not the world doesn't resolve around you, they weren't saying that you were not important. They were saying that I'm dealing with shit too. And the truth is somebody that I met online that I know that didn't know that much and I never talked to. So a couple of videos from them. If they were coming to me and complaining, I'd be like, dude, first of all, wrong dude, wrong guy. Wrong guy. Speaking of wrong guy, I'm in this weird position. It's a very weird position. I've been using Snapchat more. This is gonna be way too much information. Don't care. I don't care what you think, cause the whole this is about me. Best of us, this memories. And I've been look at this person. We'll call her X, okay? And X is very sweet. X is very lovable. X is very kind. X is very the best. She's very naughty. She's very pretty. You're gonna see why I'm talking about this. Too much information, disgusting, but kind of like a And X took a couple of weeks and told me that she was in a relationship, but she told me that her husband was okay with her cheating, and I was like, oh, it was kind of he's gonna watch right. And she's like, yeah, no, he just needs to know. So then the husband added me, which is crossing boundaries. But X is hot. I'm horny. Don't care. But now is the husband of the boyfriend. It's not clear. Who's constantly texting me and say, "Hey, you're gonna fuck my wife up." I'm like, it's a bit weird, bro. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Chill. And then he says something like, "Tell me I'm gonna fuck my wife." So I leave him on open, and then she's gonna text me, and she said, "Did you say something wrong? Why doesn't he answer?" So it's kind of really complex. Yeah, it's a bit weird. I'm comfortable, and I don't know how to tell her. You know the famous saying, "It's not you, it's me." Well, right now it's not you, it's not me, it's him. Yeah. But I don't know how to say that. Like, yeah, you know the guy that you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. You know the guy that you tried a nut with. Yeah. You know the first time we talked, you sent me a picture of you in a wedding dress. Oh yeah, that wedding. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. And I was horny. I was thick brain. I saw a picture of her in a wedding dress. And I didn't know she was married. It's just for fun, bro, bro, bro. Yeah, I'm a proudest moment. And again, too much information. But sometimes we'll get into it, and that's very aggressive on her part, which I love, and it's very hot and heavy, which I freaking por favor, un poco más. And you ever heard of the expression post nut clarity? Is when you're needy of something, for example, right? When you're hungry, you're gonna go and eat this junk food. You're gonna be eating, and after that you're like, oh my god, I can't believe I finished a whole pizza. I can't believe I did a tonka jahari. If you know, you know. If you don't know, doesn't know. He doesn't know what tonka jahari is. I know. Have a nice shift, bro. This guy disappointed. I'm understanding. I'm forgiving. But at the same time, bro, not your proudest moment, right? I didn't took a tonka jahari. Of course, I didn't order a pizza for myself, but take it. You know, and yeah, and what was I saying? Oh, yeah. What's the clarity? And then last time it did, it was really good. She has a body, man. Oof, tattooed, blue-eyed brunette. Ex, te amo. Te amo, te amo, pero un noche. I love you for a night. I'm gonna get the husband in the background and say, hey, pretty hot stuff. Yeah, yeah. I want to get you the I want to get you something funny. I want to get you something funny for your birthday. Something funny for your birthday. It's not your birthday, so it doesn't matter. It's somebody's birthday somewhere in the world. Happy birthday, by the way. Bro, sis, kid, hunk, can't call uncle people call uncle anymore because I'm becoming uncle. And I'm not the uncle you want to see at your party. I'm the guy who get drunk on energy drinks. Ask if I can. You can take. Ask if you can take leftovers home. Yeah, I'm gonna ask. Hey, you mind if you don't get back yet? And then like, we don't have plates for. So don't worry, I got it. So I'm the uncle. I'm the uncle that brought his own doggy bag in the hope that there was a doggy bag. And this shit's been used, right? So yeah. So I'm that kind of uncle. I was doing this. That's me, bro. That's me with Mrs. X.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Yeah.
Just when I thought I was out.
You know what you're doing, Mrs. X? You're putting me back in. That's not cool, bro. That's not cool, bro. And yes, you get the bro today. You get the bro because your husband made me uncomfortable. And he ain't my bro. So somebody's gonna be my bro. If it ain't him, I gotta be my own bro. Trust me, I tried. Like, get out of here. Trust me, I tried to be my own bro. But, yeah. How did I know there's something like that? I never watched The Godfather. I read The Godfather. Great books. The Soprano did it. The Soprano did it. What is the best The Godfather reference in The Soprano? Tony got it. That was gonna do a voice. Tony gets a bag of orange. Tony gets a orange juice because the guy's car gets shot. In the movie, Don Corleone orders a baggage of orange, a bit more healthy, you know. And with, with Tony, I would have loved if he had his hand full. One hand is the orange juice, the other hand the gabagool. The gabagool. And I was watching yesterday. I was watching 2 days ago. I was watching 2 days ago. I was watching 2 days, so I didn't watch The Sopranos because I was way too young. My father was like, "I don't like how socially they portray a culture." He didn't say that. He said, "Go play outside." My father used to say, "Wait a second." My father used to say, true story. My father used to say, "There's nothing on TV." My father used to say, My father used to say, "There's nothing on TV. You cannot find. You cannot find outside." Like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm watching Pokemon. I should have outside. Trust me, I tried. I tried to find Pokemon. Oh, I looked. I looked and looked and looked. One day, another story with my father. One day, this is a true story too. I was possibly like 11 years old. I say 11 o'clock. I swear to God, this is a true story. There was this campsite, and we would go places, and it was set up like the tent. And I was too young to make the tent, so I was like, yeah, screw you guys, I'm out of here. So I went out, and I followed like the trail. What you would do, this is the easiest way to do it. What you do is you follow a trail. No, no, just leave me alone. I don't want to. I don't want you to. You asked me to leave a review, and I said no. I said no because I already gave you 9 reviews. It's gonna be some time where I'm like, hey, don't be greedy, mister. Don't be greedy, mister. Don't be greedy, mister. Good. The vera ciao, vera ciao, vera ciao, 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 vericina di passionado. So the easiest thing to do is you follow a trail. This is why back in the days people used to say, you're gonna go up the river. So you do it, you'd find a river, and you would go up and down, and that's what you're looking for, right? So I followed the ocean because that's my point of view. That's my point of, and I went far. I went like an hour away. I was playing games. So I was like chilling, playing games in my brain, right? Imagination. I was raised with SpongeBob, bro. I had a good childhood, you know. And I went far. I went to places where there were houses. And it's their backyard. There's like no separation between the camp. Well, there's a separation which is distance, but there's a guy. He said, "Hey, are you lost?" And he said, "I got some fresh lemonade inside if you want." And I'm like, "Oh hell nah, bro. Oh hell nah, bro. I know you ain't got no lemonade. I know you ain't got no lemonade, bro." So I go back in. I go back to the campsite, and I'm getting into a little trouble. We've been looking for you. Where were you? And then my brain I was like, my brain again. I'm 11 years old. Okay, my brain. I'm like, I've missed lemonade for this. Oh hell no! I want to go back. Imagine, is there still lemonade? Lost. 11 years old boy lost. Yeah, yeah. My father was a great dad. Um, he was a hard believer in teaching us in the old school way. So at school, if I bit somebody, he would bid me. He would bid me. He would bid me. And he used to think that I put too much salt. And he used to say, what? What? My father was cheap. I'm also cheap, so it doesn't matter. My father used to say, salt doesn't grow on trees. No, it grows from in the cave, bro. Duh. And one time he's like, "Oh yeah, you want some salt? Give me a plate." I'm young. I don't remember what age I was. I was like, "Hey, okay, Dad." He puts salt. He puts a lot of it. He says, "You better, you better finish your plates." And then, but I was a piece of shit because when I was young, this is a true story. I would be walking, and I'd pick up the rock salt they put in the alleyways for the ice to melt, and I would put it in my mouth. I just like salty things, right? I don't know why I did that. My father, so the school called my fathers. They call my father. My father's with an S. I had two dads. Surprise. They call my dad. They're like, your son is eating. They call my dad and they said, your son is eating the salt of the floor. My father answer was, I'm on my way. And he goes to school. And I said, okay, what's the problem? He said, we told you on the phone. I said, okay. And then one time, give me the salt. The next day at school, I'm puking a storm because my body is not feeling good. And the teacher said, "Oh my God, are you okay? What's going on?" And I told her, and I still remember that I was like 8 years old. I still remember that. I ate too much salt. Yeah, that was me. A better story, and that's a better story. Okay. So I had this teacher. She was insane, bro. That's a bit more serious though. This teacher was my very first betrayal. Was my very first betrayal. It was insane. Um, she was fucked up. She was fucked in the head. I'm sorry, but she was fucked up. Like the woman is a psychopath. when I was young, I didn't sit straight. I was hyperactive, so I didn't sit straight. And then what she would do is she would say things like, and something really bad happened. Like my father was gone from Miami, and this was the first time my father was gone. So I missed him. I wore his hat in school. The teacher said, "Okay, well, this hat is mine now." I came back home crying to my mom. Meh. My mom said, "What can I do?" Right? And then I would go and I would sit down badly. She's like, "Stefan, I warned you yesterday. Now your punishment is that you're gonna spend the whole day going up, going up." I was in fifth grade, so I was 10 years old, 9 or 10. You know it's bad when other nines are 10 years old. I think the teacher can sit down because I was struggling, bro. I was struggling, and my father was gone for a week, but he was gone to if I'm not wrong, he was gone to California, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, I think he was going to LA or something like that. I don't know. And then my mom said, "Shit, whatever you say, you know your dad. Do not tell him about that. I'm gonna go crazy." I said, "Okay, mom. Okay, mom, no problem." There's a teacher, there's a parent teacher meeting because I swear to God, I wish I was a true story. I wish this was a fake story. The guy comes in, my father comes in. This is what happened. He was gone, and the parent and teacher sit down. She presents herself. She's talking about her plan, and then she says, "Is there any question?" So people around are saying, are saying, it's people around. I'm gonna talk about that with my father when I go see him. You'll see it's a true story. Um, my father, so the parent says, "Is it true that one of the kid is spending his whole days standing up?" The teacher said, the teacher said something along the lines of, "I apologize. I warned the kid multiple times. He doesn't listen, so I had to raise the stakes, right?" And another, so then she changed subject. And another parents, because the kids were telling their parents like she's insane. And then another parents, they come back to the kid. They do that, and then the worst thing happened. He said, "Is it true that Stefan is standing up the whole? Why is Stefan standing up the whole day?" My kid said that he stand up the whole week. My father fucking go red. It's like, wait, are you talking about my son? And she's like, "Yeah, I thought you knew." So then my father gave her shit. That teacher, so my father calls he calls the direction. He's like, "Dude, this girl is fucked in the head. I want retribution. I want vendetta. I want vengeance." He didn't use a peculiar term, but he said, I wanted to fire her." So then she came in the class one day and she said, "Okay, okay, students, today a little bit of an exercise, right? What we're gonna do is you're gonna tell me what you think are valuable punishments. So for one punishment, one warning, two warnings, I wrote some bullshit. I wrote death. I wrote poison. Right? I wrote whiplash. Yeah, I wrote some fucked up stuff because I thought it was not serious. I was like, "Ain't no way this is for reals." Just an exercise, right? Just to make us work our imagination, and well, then she used it. She used it against us. She used it. Okay, well, you guys said that. You guys said that. You guys said that. And then if you complain about it being too strict, like, well, you guys chose it. She would wear those cleavage, like really big cleavage. And yeah, she had a generous top size. And when she would talk to us, she would bend over the desk. And then she complained to my dad, like, "Hey, your son is looking at my tits." Yeah. And my father said, "Is that true?" I said, "I don't really have a choice in my face." My father said, "Don't get cut." Yeah. I was like, "Hey, Sam, try not to." Yes, I was talking about the lack of confidence. My father, my father said something like, "Don't get cut in the night next time. Try, don't get cut. Try not to get cut, because I know what you was hard." Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, she got fired. She got fired, but she got it took like a whole year. Was she? And you know the thing that's a sad thing, because even if she was like super like strict, I was 10 years old. There's nothing that she can do to me that I will remember. There's nothing that she did to me that I will remember today. There's no lasting trauma. I laugh about it today. Laugh about it today. You know? Wait, you know the story with the salt? My father kept the letter. Yeah, yeah. And he made me read it like not too long ago. I want you to realize. Wait, he said, he said, I want you to realize what you put you. Wait, he said, I want you to realize what you put your mom and I through. Whoa, your son eats salt. What a gangster. What a criminal. No, that you said attacking others too. He eats salt. Yeah. And I was laughing when I was reading the letter. He said, it's not fun because it made your mom cry. Like, what the fuck? My mom cries at everything. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? So, yeah, so there was nothing she can do that could have hurt me, you know? And when you get older, you laugh about it. But because of that, I'm not able to tell you, like, oh, she was a good teacher or she wasn't a good teacher because I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember her. I'm not gonna say her name. It's slender, but you know who you are. And I live in a small town, so a lot of the time I'm going to see some of my teachers. Yeah, this is a crazy story. I had a French teacher, and she was very conservative. At school, right? She was very conservative. She was very, very conservative. And a good teacher. She was a good teacher. She was actually nice. She was actually really kind. And what happened was, she came to she's in a small town, so she was part of a sort of like King's Club, yeah. And a student recognized her. And this place was known. This place was known. This place was known to have like glory holes and shit like that. Yeah. And whenever you saw her outside, she was wearing like it wasn't really corset, but it was corset-ish. Yeah. It was sort of like a tube top without the I don't know what you call it. Yeah. And she was slut shamed. That was before like the OnlyFans and stuff like that. So I had a teacher who would have been shamed for having an OnlyFans, which is insane. What's my opinion about teacher with OnlyFans? It depends. Like if you're proud about it, and if nobody knows about it, like it's not like, oh, hey, I have an OnlyFans, check it out, kids. I don't think it matters if you get caught. Well, that's your private life, right? Technically speaking, okay, that's important. Every single thing that you put behind a paywall is considered private. Everything that you put out for free is public, and a paywall is private. So what you do in the privacy of your home, it's up to you. So as long as it's not like publicized, as long as, for example, there's okay, I'm gonna take the worst example possible. Let's take somebody like Bonnie Blue, who there's like 400 bodies. She's there with 400 different guy, right? Like if she was the teacher of my kids, I'd be like, bro, you know, you know. But yeah. Otherwise, I don't mind. Why? Why is it bad? Because it's so public. It's so. For example, there's like literally big celebrities. There's girl and publicizing their OnlyFans. Every single videos that they do is promoting it. Every single mention that they're doing it is has to do with that. As their main source of income, as their main job, as in their description. It's an adult performer, right? Versus, hey, I do that on the side is to pay the bills. I have a friend, she does it, and well, first of all, it's for fun. She's a really shy. Well, she was a really shy girl. She's not anymore. She's a really shy girl, and the girl is going to school, and she's working at a mechanic. It's not really mechanic, but she works at like a garage. So she'll do like buffers, and she'll do like oil changes. She's just a little bit, you know. She'll post like a video a week or 2 videos a week. I don't know. She's not really my type. She's cute, but she's how can I put this? She's very pale and frail. Yeah, she's very pale and frail. I might go to be a bit tan. I like my girl to have a little bit of curve, you know. And yeah, so she does it just has fun, and she has fun, you know. And they pay for. She told me how much she was making per month. She was bragging about it. She got drunk. She texted me like, "Dude, you'll never believe how much I made this month." Okay, how much? And I think she told me something around like I think it was like 700 or 800 a month. You can take that for reals. Some people are doing it 10,000, 100,000. What's insane, I was reading a story about it. There's a girl, she's dating young Gravy. I think Ari something, and her tape got leaked recently. And she's so popular that she can do a video in months, right? And still get some cash, like a lot of cash for it. Which I think is kind of crazy, but I think it's kind of cool because, hey, if you're gonna make it, if you're gonna try to make it bag, make it bag. If you do it for fun, do it for fun. But if you're trying to make it back, make it back. You know. There's this other girl, because of course I'm on Twitter. I have never paid for OnlyFans. I have never paid for that. I have never paid for that. I'm not gonna pay for something I can get for free. You know. And but I'm following this person and they're really attractive. They're really attractive. But when you actually look at their profile, because they're posting a lot of the same like pictures and videos, and when you look at it, it's like okay, you've been reposting the stuff that you've been reposting. Like for example, I think it was like this week, maybe last week, she reposted a video or a picture that she took in 2023. Like you know that your body changed, you know that you aged. Like 2 years is huge. 2 years is huge. And you realize that there's no new content. But then again, I was following this girl, and what she did was really cool. She was like also very like she took her retirement young. I think she was like 25 or something. And she made bags. She was very attractive. Very attractive. Very attractive. Fucking made up though. Because tits got redone, ass got redone. And she retired. She said, hey, I'm stepping down. I don't need to do this anymore. And not that I dislike it. Not that I dislike people doing it. That I'm ashamed of having done it. But I don't need to do it anymore. So there you go. And oops. Shit, I fucked up. I fucked up again. Actually, not so much. Actually, I turn tragedy into melody. Super pressure me. It comes so naturally, so smooth and casually. That's why they call me king of the music scene. Ta 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 ta. And what she did was she came out of retirement. She's like, hey, I said I was gonna need, and I didn't need to do it anymore. But this is really cool foundation. I want to support, which is I think it was Mira Dog. So Mira Dog is for blind people, and should all catch I'm gonna do with this is gonna go for this. What she was doing is she said I'll drop in new videos every week for a month. You'll get like a year of subscription for a special price, and the rest of the year you can watch my old stuff. And then again, what I have a problem with regarding that is, for example, right? There's I don't have a horror story about that, like of a younger girl getting used to it. Like, I'm gonna say something outrageous, and again, it's not. Oh, it feels freaking great, bro. Mm. I'm not trying to pull. People were talking about, like, back in the days, Team 10 with Jake Paul, talk about the outrageous, like, contract and outrageous, like, really tough stuff, right? And it's really bad, and, like, there was no. It was nothing. It was not sexual exploitation, right? Now there's such a thing as a career, which is OnlyFan model manager, which is basically a pimp. Sorry to say that, but it's basically a pimp. And some of those contracts are disgusting. And you get a young girl, which is like freshly 18, who doesn't know much about like finance or value or doesn't know much about the value. Like, and then what she does is she's stuck in one of the most famous case. She's gonna show you. One of the most famous cases. This is a crazy story. This is insane. Jean-Claude Van Damme, tragic, tragic, um, tragic contract. Right, let's go. Perfect. Okay, so basically, what the guy, it's gonna be like a lot of reading. Yeah, yeah. So, legit, the guy was a superstar, and he got offered like a really, really sweet deal, like a really sweet deal because he was everywhere. And they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna book you for like 30 movies." But he signed like a contract of exclusivity, and he had to do 30 movies with them. And it took so much time to do 30 movies. First of all, second of all, there was a lot of inflation, so the once very generous paycheck, we're not that generous anymore. Jean-Claude Van Damme, most contract mistakes concur in 1994. Following the massive success of Time Cops, Universal Studios offered him a three-picture deal with worth 12 million per movies. They could offer demanding 20 million per picture. The mission of this 36 million deal marked the beginning of a rapid professional decline fueled by erratic behavior and substance abuse. Okay, that I didn't know. That I didn't know. Maybe he's not a victim after all. For a deeper look, okay, aside from his career-defining contract rejection, several other highly successful lawsuit martial art expert Frank filed breach of contract lawsuit. It looks like that a producer share profits from his okay. Hold on, to the dragon, the outcome, even trafficking, disgusting. Yeah, human trafficking, no thank you. Yeah, disgusting. But it's tough, it's tough, it's tough, it's tough. Like one of them, speaking about fighter, one of my hero was GSP because he's one of the most popular fighter, and he was like a legend in MMA. He was also French Canadian. So, and the craziest thing about that guy is he was a normal kid. Like the place he used to go to, the restaurant he used to go to, like you can still go today, and they're very popular. He used to go to Orange Lip. Orange Lip is still very good, still very working, but it's expensive as fuck. You'll get like a $12 hot dog, so forget about it. Um, but him, it took him years to shake up the fact that he wasn't a fighter anymore. It took him years to go back to the public scene and be like, hey, but he's still beloved. He's still, you know, still a hero. So yeah, so the contract manager, some of those deals are discussing. Some of those deals are exploitative, right? And because you sign it, you're contractually obligated to it, right? You cannot have like a lawyer look at the contract that you signed 2 years ago and say, hey, I don't like the contract. No, you signed a contract, and if you're coming out of it, it's a breach of contract, right? So it doesn't look too good. Some of those girls are afraid that if they breach contract, nobody's gonna hire them anymore. There's just real fear, you know. So stuff. That's tough. Okay, well, what do I do? What do I do? I'm stuck here. I'm stuck here doing the same thing at the same time, you know. So it's really tough, and you don't want to be in that position, you know. A lot of people are asking me like, dude, like, aren't you worried? A lot of people that were asking me like, don't you care that there's real people in your life? How are you making money? And I'm like, don't worry about money, bro. Because I'd rather do something that I love and make nothing than do something that I don't like and make money. Like, there's some content creator. I was watching this guy. I think it was like Tofu or something. I don't remember the name. This guy was making content that clearly was like rage baiting. He was unhappy. Um, I was also watching Boogie 298. Used to be a legend. Used to be making stacks on YouTube, and now he has a Falcon Grace, and nobody cares anymore. Now he has to do videos where he constantly begs. I saw a video yesterday of DSP. I thought DSP. You guys know that I've been watching a lot of the tractor stuff from him. Not my favorite guy. He's not my least favorite guy. Also, just somebody that I don't really care about. But apart from that, he made a video, and my dude, I'm pretty sure he's on medication. I'm not gonna say the name of the medication because then again, slandering. But my dude doesn't look good. My dude looks unhealthy. He looks sick. He look like wax. He looks not too good. And he did that choice, and there's no coming back. Some people, one of the, I don't want to say whom, but one of the Osborns, seen her recently, and oof, like, you see people like abuse certain medication that you can get yourself, and there's no research on the long term effect of it. There's no research on how you look. You look sickly. You know? You look sickly, and just some sad stuff. But then there's the thing of beauty. There's a standard of beauty, right? Beauty standards, universal beauty standards. If the beauty standard is to be skinny. You cannot be skinny, and you have to resort to certain substance of some medication. Because if I say substance, people are gonna think I'm talking about drugs. I'm not talking about drugs. I'm talking about the old Zempi, the old Zempi, and yeah, and you just look sick, and it's not health. It's not, it's not. That sucks. It's because I don't know if there's gonna be back from that. I don't know if there's a comeback from that. I don't know. I don't know. That's seriously suck. Like DSP, not looking dude. Um, he was wearing pants, and they were a bit tighter than what a person should be wearing, right? And a lot of the expos are like, dude, this is clearly the outline of a diaper. And then because it's social media and people are bored or something, there's a lot of researchers on why he could be wearing diapers. And apparently, I don't know if it's the truth, but apparently, like, because he's an ex-alcoholic, his kidneys are fucked up, so his digestive system suffers from that, and it's possibly a result of that. But wearing diapers is it's not a good look at 45. Definitely not a good look. But I was watching one of his interview. Did an interview not too long ago. Said he made content at 26. Started making content at 28. So that's kind of cool. So yeah. Now I'm seeing the time I have to go because I have to do the tower talk and I have to do movie talk. I also have to do anime talk. But yeah, like I said, sorry about sometime going into too much details into talking about personal life I just don't have an outlet, and I just don't have people that I'm willing to talk about to there's help. I'm not gonna talk about. Hey, my mom told me what to tell to a dude that I haven't want to have an interview with. Stupid. It's such a first world problem that it affects me. You know, and I feel guilty if I trauma dump on someone. And if you're trauma dumping is different person per person. Something that I can be that you can see as inoffensive for me is trauma dumping, and something that I can see for you as being trauma dumping could be for you inoffensive. Inoffensive or harmless. Inoffensive is in French. Harmless. So I'm sorry if I'm doing that. And I know something should be private. And trust me, if I could, I would. I don't like fighting on camera. I don't like fighting at all. I have to be honest. If I could avoid it, I could, and it sucks. It really sucks. It really sucks. You know, it really really sucks. Um. Oh, baby. Enough story, but that's okay though. That's okay though. That is more than okay though. I know I got a big ego. I really don't care though. Dum 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 dum. I know I got a big ego. Really don't care why it's such a big deal though. Won't be long. Won't be long. Won't be long. Hey, soul sister, ain't no way, no, the stereo, radio, let's wait, it's on it, stereo. Hey, soul sister, ain't nothing that you can do. Ooh, tonight, yeah, 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 yeah. Your lipstick staying on the cover of my listen vein. I knew I wouldn't forget you, and so I had to blow your mind. You're so lovable. No, I believe in you like a poem from Madonna. Blow your mind. Hey, soul sister, ain't nothing new on the stereo. The radio, oh no, the stereo. Hey, soul sister, I don't wanna miss a single thing you do tonight. Yeah, yeah. Like, for example, this famous clip about Speed where his mom he celebrates 10,000. I think it's 10,000 followers. I think I'm not sure, but it was a big milestone. 50% batteries, shit. And he talked to his mom. Hey mom, I reached this amount. His mom's just like, I don't care, and you feel bad for the guy. You do feel bad for him because that's not a way to teach your kids. It's not a way to So once like that, you definitely don't want to have publicized because nobody comes out victorious. You make a person look back, you make yourself look like a victim, but it's not control. I don't purposely make fight. I don't seek confrontation. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. I gotta go. Don't blink, it's your buying. Welcome to the show. Welcome. Okay, so doing well. Because having a fantastic day. Welcome to day 277 of Project Vendetta. Today we're doing a little bit of an anime review, but it's only one anime. There's not a lot, right? But I don't think there needs to be a lot, right? Sometimes shorter is better. Good. Everything is uploading. This is insane. When you think that nothing is uploading, but everything is, such a blessing. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the name of the anime is. I possibly should have looked that up, right? But I messed up, so gotta figure out right now. An ordinary man save a mysterious girl in a dungeon. Why did I not look at that before? Because I haven't stopped since. There you go. Another boy.
I woke up and suddenly I was.
The pup is why I'm still alive. Adorable. The Power Ranger team. That was what was the first scene? It's sure ended strangely. Called. The name is of this adventure is an adventure daily. Ran at 29. Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, at 29 years old. Super cool. So, it's this anime. There you go. Is this one?
A veteran adventure.
Oops. Is this one? Shout out to Free Nimzov.
Did I say?
A veteran adventure.
Okay, there's no. It's not gonna work. It's okay. But basically, the story is fantastic, and I gotta say, it was such a good watch. So it's an anime of a dude that is so the way it starts, is you show him as a kid, the main character as a kid. So the main character is complex because the main character is either the young girl, or the mysterious girl he saved, or is the veteran hero. So it's basically a kid, right? And he struggles. He's hungry. He's broke. And he says, "I'm going to become the strongest. I'll never be hungry again." So then you see him as sort of as older. He's an adventurer in the boondocks, and he has some popularity. The anime does a really good job at presenting him. He goes like, so that they're super thankful, like, "Oh, you're so kind to help us in a place like that," and it's kind of cool because you establish him as not only being a good guy, but also being super strong because he alone is able to help the village immensely, right? The story is fantastic. The first episode, he goes to a dungeon. He saves a girl. The girl becomes sort of his apprentice, right? And he trains her. So this is really cool because the anime presents itself as the young. I say young girl, she's not a young girl. She's succubus, which is an older race in the anime, and like when it's day, she transforms into like this kid, right? And he's teaching her. So the way he presented this anime is actually really cool. So you got this guy that you don't really know. He doesn't have anything special. He's not that special guy, but he's teaching the young girl. He's teaching the young girl to fight. So you basically have a rise to greatness, right? You have this adventure that starts, and it's just like an RPG. So there's rank, there's classes. It is super nice, and the whole story is from zero to hero. So the young girl from being able to kill slime, and where I am, she's killing like bears, which are a lot stronger, you know. So the anime itself isn't the greatest anime I've ever seen. The graphics are good. The storytelling is good. The characters are attaching. There's nothing groundbreaking. It's not a like on Titan. It's not a Bleach or Naruto, but I do think the concept of having a main character teach another character that is super likable and super attaching. So I'm gonna be honest. The main character is, yes, he's cool. You get to like him, but he's isn't the coolest character. He's not the most interesting character. He's pretty. Not I wouldn't say average per se, but he's pretty run of the mill, right? When that you have a guy like that teach a student, you get the student succeed. Actually, quite nice. It's actually super nice, and it's very likable. And then the anime itself, why it shines is because you see that the Ishogo as a kid, and that's why he's helping the kid. Where the anime shine is there's also like a lot of quests. For example, he has to help people. Oops, battery is empty. Shit, battery is empty. Okay. Lipstick staying on the cover of the magazine. I knew I wouldn't forget you, and so I have to know you're mine. Yes. It's good to go inside because I don't have a lot of batteries left. You solo. Girl like you, I believe in you. What can I do? You're my love. Hey, little sister. Ain't no way to do. Stereo, radio, radio. Hey, little sister. Yeah, 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 yeah. There you go. Perfect. Let's go inside. Yeah, it. Whew. There we go.
If you do that, if you man, whatever. If I'm with you and I need, don't.
Anybody good? I'm feeling.
Ted. Good. Ugh. 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 Yeah. Mm-mm. I don't know what they count. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I see. I see. I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. La 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 la.
A veteran adventurer.
Jake Peralta. No doubt. Cool, no doubt.
So, how was your night of work? I'm not asking about your personal life. I don't care about you personally. I mean, I'm neutral. I mean, who are you?
Floundering is worse than silence.
Oh, cool. No doubt. Sir, detective. So, how was your night of work? I'm not asking about your.
No doubt, no doubt.
Very cool. Once upon a time, there was a big spaceship and aliens and mercenaries.
Every time we get emotional, he's like, noise, smart.
Noise. Smart. Rule number 2. Smart.
Every time we get
Go.
So while I'm gone,
Go.
the place on the corner serving lemonade. NYPD, I need to commandeer this vehicle.
Our body cam footage.
I'm here. Start the meeting now. I'm telling you, this machine. Sarge, I'm not scared of heights, okay?
I'll just act like you.
Say something so I can get the cadence of your voice down.
I will not.
Perfect. I will not.
Have a seat, detective.
I will not.
Excuse me?
I don't have a lot of time. I need your full signed confession. You have 4 minutes. We can do this.
But I'm not guilty.
Got it. Alright, fine. I'll just go. With this fully signed confession, we did it, guys! Woo! Suck it, Vulture! I killed that guy and his neighbor, but you were too late! Wait, you killed his neighbor?
Security cam shows male suspect 5'9".
Wearing a black ski mask. He bypassed the McConnell alarm by using the magnetic kill switch.
Yeah, exactly. How'd you know?
I'm a detective. That's what I do. I'm just kidding. I need a lot more information. That would have been a great exit plan, right?
Cool.
Another cold brew? Get it! Yeah! Very cool.
Cool. Want it that way. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
So, do you recognize any of these men?
I was hiding in the bathroom stall, so I didn't see his face, but I heard him. He was singing along to the music at the bar.
Do you remember what he was singing?
I think it was that song, I Want It That Way.
Backstreet Boys, I'm familiar. Okay. Number 1, could you please sing the opening to I Want It That Way?
Really? Okay. You are
Huh, beautiful voice.
my
Fire, my one
Number 2, keep it going.
the one
desire.
Number 3,
believe
And I say
number 4,
I want it that way.
tell me why.
ain't
Nothing but a heartache.
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a mistake. Number 5.
I never wanna
Hear
hear
you say it. I want it that way. Yeah, it was number 5.
Chills. Literal chills.
It was number 5. Number 5 killed my brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about that part. So, do you
Beautiful.
I was hiding in the bathroom stall, so I didn't see his face, but I heard.
I heard him sing. Okay, let's go. More work. Inky. Let's freaking go, baby. Let's freaking go, baby. Fuck you gonna do about it? More work. You are my fire, the one desire. Believe when I say that I want it that way. Tell me, why aren't you charging? ¿Por qué? No te reclamo. Pero no eres normal. Tumbling is your boy. Welcome to the show. Because we are having a fantastic freaking day on this fantastic freaking day 700. No, 278. Let's not go crazy here, but it would be nice. It would be cool. No doubt. Today we're doing a movie review. I got an hour and a half before I got to go to my father, but I'm having my bike, so it'll take 5 minutes to go there, which means that I can stay home for a lot longer and possibly another couple time. Switch for my friend. I made it awkward. We're what 43 seconds in. Okay, time to save the day. very hot, warm in the apartment. I might have to put the AC on. So today we have a platera of movie. Some people call it an orgy. I'm more classy. The platera movie is actually really recommendable. We are talking about Underworld, Underworld Evolution. We're talking about The Shining. We're talking about what else? What else? What else? We're talking about Monster Hunter, and we're talking about Survival of the Dead. So you know what? We're gonna go in opposite order. So which doesn't really work with can't go in the right order. It would cool to do that because it would have been different, but since I do that, since I did watch Underworld 1 and 2, can I do the 2 and the first one after? So Underworld. Gonna say I'm familiar with the Underworld franchise, but not in a good way. So the Underworld franchise were presented on TV way too often. You guys know the movie that you see too often on cable, and you see like, oh, they always replaying that. Yeah, there's a lot of flies in the apartment because I keep on having these, leaving them open. It brings in the cockroaches of the sky. No, flies are actually pretty clean and underrated, I guess, for some reason. Great movie, by the way. So with Underworld, it wasn't the first movie; it was the second movie. So I'm like, I'm seeing this movie a ton of time, but I have literally have no clue what it is, right? So we're going to the first one. The first one, you know what? Fuck that. We're gonna do with a double. We're gonna go with a double review at the same time. I want to do things different. This is how I do it. Um, so yes, freaking go. So Underworld. The first one was what I did, and the second one. Why was the second one a bit worse? The first one was perfectly written. The lore is explained perfectly. The scenes are played perfectly. It's a bit cringe. It's a bit poorly made, but it's actually a really good movie. The second one, which is the one we're talking about right now, Suffer. You might ask me, suffer from what? Great question. The second one suffer from a bunch of things. So the first one is good as a standalone. There's a story, there's an ending, there's lore, there's lore, and you realize that you can have the whole series in one movie. The second one is also good, but you kind of read kind of another thing that the first one said. If it was like a 7 movies, and oh, at the fourth, you know what was in the first one? Yeah, we reckon that. I don't mind, but this is the second movie, so you retconning the previous movie, which is not good. Um, the second movie act as a perfect sort of okay. So technically speaking, the first movie is a standalone. The second movie, you talk about a lot of hybrids, right? And then the third one is what? The third one is Blood War. Wait a second, I'm gonna tell you the title exactly. But the second one serves as an introduction to everything. So, for example, if it wasn't for the second one, it would be hard to put it. And the second one is that just like there's gonna be multiple movies, and there's 5 movies, so that's actually pretty good. Underworld film. There's Rise of the Lycan, Awakening, Blood Wars. You see, there's 5 of them. So let's talk about the story wise. The first one is the story of what? The first one is the story of a clan of vampire, and they're actively fighting Lycans. So we know that Lycans are the enemies, and yes, that's the whole story, right? So it's basically a war between vampires and Lycan. Vampires are the good guys. Even in this movie, what is really cool is they create sort of a synthetic blood, so they're not using the blood, right? Then the whole story is that, and this is beautiful. I'm telling you, the first one is so well written. I watched A Shining yesterday, which is a cult classic, and I thought Underworld was better written. I cannot wait to go into The Shining. It's gonna be a great video. So yeah, so like I was saying, there's a ton of great stuff, and Underworld. So you go to the base, right? And in the base, so the first one they're chasing a human, and they're going to a specific place, right? And then our main character, which is Celine, which is a baddie. Celine to me feels like a Resident Evil character. So the whole movie sort of is bad, and cringe in a Resident Evil way. So very enjoyable, but still cringe. So she's very like I wouldn't say Jill Valentine. I would say who is the main character in Resident Evil is Alice. So she is sort of like an Alice. She's sort of a Lara Croft. She's a baddie. She is a baddie, right? Um, so she goes in and she's like, "Hey, there's actual lichens there. There's possibly because okay, so technically speaking, what happened is there was a war. The vampire won that war, and they're saying that the lichens are almost extinct. But now we're finding that no, the lichens are not almost extinct. There's a lot of them. Well, it's complex. It's complex because the lichen, they said exactly how much there is. It's possibly like 100 or 200 left, which is a lot. The vampire, we don't know how many there are. So you're like, okay, well, is there more lichen or more vampire? You would think that there's more vampire because the lichens are most extinct, but it's not clear, right? So then, the first movie what it does also very well explains a lot of the rules, which is great. So then, the whole convent, which is what you call a group of vampire, it doesn't believe the main characters. Like, dude, you're insane. The lichens are extinct. We don't have nothing to worry about besides the party, right? And what is the coolest thing is there's gonna be an elder. So there's three elder. There's Marcus, there is Victor, and the third one is not mentioned. So, our main character is sort of a daughter to one of the elder. Sorry, getting myself coffee because it's a bit hot in the apartment. And I'm wearing joggings, so it's a bit hot. What I did as I roll up the sleeve. So Victor happens to be one of the elder. He really likes the main character, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna protect you. Whatever happened, because technically speaking, what she wants is she wants to go to kill the Lycans because they're posing a threat, right? Then what is cool here is you also are seeing the coven. You're also seeing the Lycan what they're doing. And they're after a specific guy, so they're going after a specific human. They're going after humans, and there's a name which is I don't remember the name exactly, but let's call him Coventus, right? And they're like, okay, well, we're looking for that bloodline, and you don't know why they're looking for that bloodline, but they're looking for that specific human. So then she revives Victor, and then by doing that, she breaks the rule. So breaking the rule, why? Because there's three elder. Again, every single one has a turn to reign. So that way it's fair, and that way they get to slumber, right? So she revived the wrong elder, which means that he wasn't supposed to be reigning, and that breaks the rule. So there's this guy which is Craven, and Craven is sort of the villain. He sort of is the villain, but he's not. He's actually super interesting. He sort of is the villain, right? But he's just a survivalist. Um, he's sort of the character which is in Matrix, the guy who betrays them, kind of like that, right? So he goes in and this is actually really cool because she wakes up Victor, and the second she wakes up Victor, this guy's no longer in charge. Victor's in charge. Victor is having Celine's back. She's gonna get punished because she broke the rule, but she still is like a daughter to him, so he's gonna protect her. He's gonna try to protect her, right? So then they explore. They go find Michael. So Celine goes find Michael, and they're like, "Why are they after you?" So then they go to his apartment. Michael gets jumped by five Lycan. The Lycans bite him, which makes him a Lycan. So she brings him in and gives him blood, so he's healed, right? But he's still gonna become a Lycan. Then she realizes that he's bitten, and she's like, "Okay, well, you're the werewolf here. That's breaking all the rules." So that's why. And she falls in love with him. She's like, "I can't kill him. I love him." So then, because she's gonna kill him, they decide to kill her, right? So then, because of, and this is really cool, because Victor is revived, the five elders or the five clan of vampires are meeting up, right? So one of the elder is Amelia. That was the name that I was looking for. Amelia was the name, and that was the third elder, and they're coming in, right? So long story short, once again, uh, the main vampire is it takes the blood of Michael, which is the descendants of Coventus, which is what the Lycans are looking for. He takes the blood, he's able to take to do tests, and they say, okay, well, successful. So you don't know what they're doing, but his blood's a match. So you don't know what's a match for, but you know it's a match. Okay, well, something is going on. So then, I'm going very in details because the movie is so good. The movie is so good. Don't worry, I'm not gonna go into details for the second one, right? So it's sort of super cool. Um, so then what happened is, the actually a really good story. What happened is, Michael he transformed. They're able to save him. Um, so what they do is they capture the doctor, which is in charge of everything, and you realize that Craven, which is the guy, is a traitor, and the Lycans are really there. So the reason as to why he's a traitor is he said that he killed one of the main werewolves, like one of the main werewolves, and the way the story is done is so perfectly made. It makes you think that wow, this shit is amazing. This shit is so good. So what happened is by biting Michael, Michael gets memories of the older Lycan. And he keeps seeing this vision which doesn't explain. It doesn't. We don't know why. And basically, the guy who bit Michael is supposed to be dead. And Craven said he killed him. This guy is the leader of the Lycan. He has a very good bloodline, so he's very strong and he's hard to beat, right? So then um, you realize that Craven betrayed everybody. And Craven is like, dude, these vampires don't do anything for me, right? If I have to align myself with it, with the winning part, or if I want somebody to win and want the Lycan to win, that's not the truth. The truth is, you realize at the end that Michael's a piece of shit. That Michael is a piece of shit that did some horrible stuff. So, for example, we learn why Celine loves him so much because it's her family got killed by a vampire, and he couldn't do it. And he's like, okay, well, guess what? I'm gonna make you a vampire, and you'll be No, no, I'm so sorry. Her family got killed by a vampire. He saved her. He's like, you know what? Your family's dead, but we're gonna make you a vampire. You're gonna be your family now. And you realize, no, that's not the truth. The truth is, Victor was the one that killed her family. And Craven saw that. And Craven was able to say, like, okay, well, this is kind of fucked up. This is kind of fucked up because I don't like what's going on. I don't like this one bit, right? Um, so Craven's like, Victor's not a good ruler, and yeah, fuck him. He's tired of doing the dirty work, and he gets no respect. He's high grading in the vampire, but he's still the bitch boy. So then Victor gets. We learn that Victor betrays Celine. So Celine wants to kill Victor. We learn that Craven, by not killing the werewolf, we're able to learn their true story. The true story was that werewolf was nothing special. That werewolf fell in love with a vampire. They were gonna have a kid that was gonna be an hybrid, and Victor killed his own daughter, which is the girl that fell in love. So the vampire, which is sort of the highest bloodline. So he has the best bloodline. He's kind of the elder of the werewolf, and the daughter of one of the elder of the vampire. They have a kid. The kid's gonna be a mixed blood or a hybrid, and so they killed him for that, right? Then Michael, because he is the son of Coventus, so there's a whole lore. There's a whole legend, which is there was this first guy, right? This first guy who got extreme power. He was the first. He had two sons. One of his son was a vampire because it was bitten by a bat. One of his son was bitten by a wolf, so he became a werewolf, right? They're at war, right? Which is good. At the end, Victor gets killed because he's an asshole, and all is good. But no, because Marcus gets revived. Marcus is in the story. Marcus is one of the most important characters. Marcus is the Coventus brother. Marcus is the very first vampire. So Marcus, the whole evolution thing is they're they're trying to do a they're trying to do a part where it's every single vampire and every single werewolf. So Marcus does what? Marcus he goes to see, and you see the father in the story saying, "Dude, my son cannot be controlled." So the problem is the werewolf, which is Marcus' brother. I think it's William or something like that. William gets transformed into a werewolf and can't control himself. So Marcus is like, "No, what you're gonna do? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start a big war. You're gonna be the king of the werewolf, and I'm going to be the king of the vampires. We're going to be using our separate forces and conquering the world. You know, this is going to be ours. We're going to be the king and queens of this planet. So what you do, which is bad, is you reckon a lot of things, right? For example, the fact that Michael was an hybrid, the very first hybrid. Well, he's not really an hybrid. Well, he is an hybrid, but he's not the only one that's able to. Right? They have enslaved werewolves which they use to fight, which is kind of insane. The story is good too. Marcus is a great villain because he's very warlike. And the whole goal of the movie is to save William. The whole goal of the movie is to kill William. So this is kind of crazy. And even then, you kind of see that the vampires are in league because they're sort of seeing that, okay, well, the vampires want to kill William, why not kill Marcus? So that's a whole movie. To me, it was a bit weaker because it was very to push the next movies. The first one was a great story. I do like an anime or a movie that you can start and end with the same movies. If it's a trilogy, it doesn't matter. So yeah, to me, it was a bit weaker. There's a lot of like eternal like fights, internal talk. I'm gonna be honest, they lost my attention a couple of times. Because while watching the movie, I was dozing off, I was doing something else. Like, oh fuck that, right? So when you do that, it tells you that the movie isn't that great. This today we watched 3 movies, which is The Shining. The Shining was exceptional. So I had watched The Shining before, but didn't really get into it. Why? So I had watched The Shining after reading the audiobook, and in my mind the audiobook was better. So then today I watched the movie, not even watching the audiobook, which really kind of solidified the situation for me. Really kind of made me a bit happier because I didn't compare, right? Give me a sec. Okay. So something. I forgot to do something. So what was it? It's I forgot to do this audio book, The Shining. It's a 5 hour audio book. Nice. 13 hours.
About the movie that have been made out of your novels. I mean, some of them they forget whatever's inside the book. They take the title and they go off and make their movie.
Look.
Yeah, but what about those that are more true to what you have written?
Look at this.
Why do they fail? I don't mean fail in terms of your liking them, not in terms of an audience, not in terms of making money, but in terms of Stephen King saying, "My God, they did a hell of a job."
One movie that departs considerably from the book as a failure is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Right.
And I think that one failed because Kubrick was going to make the horror movie that was going to be the benchmark horror movie, the one by which other horror movies are judged. And he didn't really know the feel, and he didn't take any time to educate himself on the field. So that I think that might be a failure of Kubrick. And with the case of another movie like Firestarter, which was the book, literally exactly, I think it's a failure because it doesn't have the sparkle and the life of the novel.
About the movie that have been made
Good.
out of your novels. I mean, some of them they forget whatever's inside the book. They take the title and they go.
I actually love that. I didn't know. So to me, The Shining was great. I did like The Shining, but oh,
Did you know Stephen King wrote an entire book in a weekend and was so high and drunk at the time that he doesn't remember writing it? That book was Cujo. Did you know Stephen?
do you think it was the best?
Looking at the camera.
Hey, Kubrick.
In The Shining, as Jack Torrance slowly loses his mind, Jack Nicholson subtly glances at the camera multiple times. This wasn't a mistake. It was a deliberate choice to show his growing madness and make the audience feel uncomfortable. Why does he keep
Love
looking
this.
at the camera?
The Shining is actually one of the greater movie. Like
In The Shining, as Jack
in previous
Torrance
movie, it's amazing because back then, like video games a little bit, you didn't have to. You could rely on the graphics. You couldn't rely on anything. Like there's a lot of scene in there that is creepy. The Shining. I'm gonna be honest. Did I was I scared during The Shining? No, but there's a couple of times during The Shining when I laughed. I was uncomfortable. I was like, this kid is a creepy fuck. So The Shining is actually amazing. So in the book, what I really enjoyed was the whole Shining part. So in the book, it's better explained. So in the book, the Shining is special people, right? So you think the Shining is gonna be Jack Nicholson? No, it's his son. It's his son. The Shining is people that are touched by God, special people. So his son is able to figure out something that's gonna be happening. He's sort of able to predict the future, sort of able to predict what's gonna happen, and this is why he survived. So the story of The Shining is Overlook Hotel, right, which is a thriving business during the summer, but during the winter it's not able to. So what they do is they hire a family to take care of the Shining, the Overlook Hotel. So they have to clean the hotel. They have to do whatever they have to do. Actually, really good. I cannot believe that the audiobook is 13 hours though. For sure, I'm going to be downloading that for sure. For sure. I started doing it and I didn't finish. But yeah, so the what was really good about it is, see, I'm doing the tower at the same time. I'm doing 5 things at the same time. Phone is too hot. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. And I have to hurry because my father's gonna come soon. No, he's not gonna come soon. I have to leave. Audiobook. There you go. Share. Fuck, I cannot. I'm going to my father's house, and two gigs might be what I need. So, the movie itself is actually quite special. So, like, I'm so sorry, I'm doing so much thing at once. I'm not paying justice to the movie and how good it is. So, with the Shining is the story of the hotel. Every single winter, they need the family to be there, right? And this winter, the family that is there is um, what's his name? Jack Nicholson, his wife and his kid, right? Jack Nicholson is a writer. He's like, dude, I'm not finding work. I'm not able to do work, but this is perfect. I'm gonna take care of the hotel. My wife can clean. My son will have a place to play, and I'll have a place to write my book, right? And then the hotel. When you go, you kind of learn a couple of things, right? You kind of learn a couple of things. So, for example, which is really freaking good, really, really, really freaking good. So the in the hotel, there's a cook there, right? And the cook is the very first hint that the hotel kind of messed up. So he's able to see, like, for example, he called the kid um, Duck, which is something that his parents call him. He knows a lot about the kid. And then he goes for ice with the kid and he explained to him, he's like, hey, do you know how I know what your name was, your nickname was? He said, me and you, we have the Shining. This is very special. So this is what people have. This is people have, and they have a gift, right? The whole reason the family gets saved is because the chef feels bad for the kid because there's a connection with the Shining, able to get them. Because Jack Nicholson's character is insane, and it's so well written. So in the story, the character of Jack Nicholson becomes the caretaker. And you start hearing the story about the previous caretaker. So one of them burned the Overlook. One of them took an axe and slashed his family. A lot of them, they end up going crazy. They end up going insane, and it's kind of crazy because, like, this is what it does. There's no precise. So it's kind of weird because there's no precise explanation as to why. The only possible explanation that I find is at the very end of the movie, you got a painting which contains all of the caretaker that died to protect that died in the Overlook, and Jack Nicholson joined them. And then you see the ball, which is 1921, and then uh, what is really cool is that you have like a scene which is a ball, and you see Jack Nicholson dancing and having fun. And this is kind of the only time in the movie where you see him aloof. It's kind of the only time in the movie where you see him chilling. Like, okay, well, this is an important moment because it's a change of character from him, right? So you see the character of Jack Nicholson going insane. And what is really good about The Shining is you kind of understand why he's going insane. For example, his wife. And again, I'm going to say something that's disgusting, but back in those days, there was a lot of housewife. So it was the man that was working. It was the man that was out there making money. The housewife wasn't the most knowledgeable, not because she was stupid, but because she didn't have the same life experience, or she wasn't going out to work and dealing with customer and dealing with people like that. So in the movies, kind of write a book, right? And it's not working. and the wife is like, okay, well, she's in his mind, she's in the way, right? And there's also a couple of mention, which is really cool. His kid, he doesn't listen, right? And his kid is very like, he's very special because of The Shining, right? And there's a scene which is again, this is where you start seeing like the character of Jack Nicholson completely going insane, right? And there's this other overlooker, this other like the past. So he says his name, then Jack Nicholson recognizes him. I'm sorry if I'm saying the movie is so complex, but it's so well made. So he tells his name, which is Grady something, and Jack Nicholson remember, hey, the old caretaker, which is his job. His name was that. He took an accent, slash his family. And the guy admits it. Said, you know what? I tried to help the kid. It's my wife got in the way. They needed discipline, so I gave them discipline. And the guy's like, you know that your son is trying to bring somebody in, ready from the outside. He doesn't know that you can do the job. And he's talking about the chef coming in. And the father knows that the chef and his son hit it off. So it makes us like, oh, no way. And then he lets he drops it. He says, try to correct him. But his mother gets in the way. So you understand that there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of repressed feelings, there's a lot of, he feels like there's a ton of mention of his wife hindering him and not allowing him to evolve as a writer. So, yeah. But then, where it shines is that the shining where it shines. The shining where it shine is the slow descent of Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson plays masterfully. He becomes more and more crazy, and as the movie goes, he becomes like on inch. Now, I will say that sadly, very sadly, um, there is a quick switch. So it goes from being angry to being a bit on edge to being completely insane, where he basically tried to kill his wife, basically tried to open the bathroom door with an axe. You know the scene, right? Yeah, so it's kind of really good like that, right? Um, so but it's the small detail which is important. So, for example, he writes, right, and the wife takes the time to look at what he wrote, right, and you see page upon pages of all work no play make Jack's a dull boy. The name of Jack Nicholson in the movie is Jack. So you know that he's going insane. This is a good portrayal of him going insane. His kids have a gift, which is The Shining, and is presenting himself as Tony. Tony is his fingers, and Tony tells them secrets and tells them what's going on. so when um, so when he asks the cook, because they hit it off. He's asking what's in room 237, and the chef's like, "There's nothing in the room 237. You better not go there." So then he goes there and gets strangled. So Jack Nicholson goes in, and this is the important part, right? So he was told not to go in room 237, and he went there. So you're like, okay, well, something's gonna happen, right? But then the kid has been acting erratic, and we think that Tony character is not real. So there's instances where, for example, Tony's like this, and he says that his mom is asking him, are you minding if we move on? It's like, yeah, I would like to stay here. It's like, don't worry, your father might not get the job. And he said, no, he got it. He's gonna call you now, tell you got it. And the phone ringing is the husband saying, hey, I got the job. So you see, like, holy crap, this kid is onto something. So he goes in, and Jack Nicholson goes in, and the kid mentioned a woman batting, right? And she's a beautiful woman. She's completely naked. You see her in the nude. She is flawless. And then you see in the mirror, she's sort of kind of decrepit. She's dead. She possibly drowned, but she's kind of decrepit, and she's running after him. And she's completely naked. She's an older lady. She's going after him, and it's never scary, but it's creepy. One of the creepiest thing is like the kid, talking to himself, talking to a strange voice. The creepiest thing is the two twins. They're coming to say, "Hey, you want to play with us?" And then you realize that the twin are the twin that are the previous caretaker slash open, right? You realize that Jack Nicholson took up of everything. For example, they want to leave. He breaks the radio. He breaks the snow. There's no patrol or something like that. So they're not able to escape. So the movie itself is fantastic. In the book, they burn it down. In this one, they don't burn it down. So the movie itself is actually really good. It's more on the creepy side. But what is the beauty of the movie itself is the era. So in the 90s, again, small budgets, you get things like Monday morning, you get things like Tuesday. It's very chapter like, which is something that I adore. You go in for the chapters and you're like, okay, you know what? This is really well made. Moving on, we got Survival of the Dead with Greg Nicotero. So everybody knows Greg Nicotero as a zombie expert. He's possibly one of the first. Was it Nicotero or was it Romero? Oh shit! Who's almost dead? You're almost dead, huh? Okay, I got you. I got you, boo boo. I got you. Survival of the Dead. Survival. Survival of the Dead. George A. Romero. Yeah. George A. Romero. So the movie is freaking flies. Shouldn't let some monster the house. I should clean them at least. Because I got a lot of flies. Not a lot, but I got 4 or 5, which is a lot. George A. Romero is very known in the zombie kind of the forefather. Him and Romero, they kind of establish rules for the zombies. So the movie starts. There's 2 clans. There's one clan that says, "Hey, we're on an island. Everything we need. We got farms. We got food. We're good." Right? But there's zombies, and what happened is there's zombies that are gonna end up killing us, and if we don't kill them, we're in danger. Our only source of worry is zombies, and they kill zombies. There's a really good scene. So the first clan or the first group goes in, knock at the door. So the parents said, "Hey, we heard that your kid had an accident," and the father's like, "Yeah, my daughter, she fell off her bike." It's like, no, I'm talking about the son. Then you realize that the son got hit by a car. He died. He turned into a zombie. He bit his sister. Right? So he goes to kill him. He goes to kill the 2 kids. Now there's a second group that comes in. The second groups are like, you know what? No way. No. No way. No. These people can be safe. They're sick. But they can be safe. And then that clan is stronger. So they banish the first clan off, right? Which is kind of like a really good, kind of like a good way to put things. Because, like, okay, well, there's 2 mentalities, there's 2 clans, they both represent a mentality. There's no middle ground. It's black and white, right? And then what happened is the story cuts off there. The first clan is on the boat, they're leaving. Then we go to their main group, which is sort of like a military group, and they have each other's back. There's 5 of them. Super interesting character. There's a girl, a lesbian, talking about how she's missed everything. They call him the Mexican dude, but he's super kind. He's the funny guy of the group. There's the leader. Then there is the faithful right arm. So you got like a really cool group, like really cool group. And then they go in and they find out that there's 3 people, right? And those 2 people are trying to, they're aggressive. They break their weapon. The army group kill them. Enter the 6th member, which is a kid or a teenager, which is a very popular actor, wimpy kid, very popular. The 100, and he's an important character because you see his mentality through him. You see the evolution through him. You got a reason to explain everything over again. You got a reason to explain how they believe, what they do think, because this guy is new to the group, right? Which is super interesting. What is really cool about the movie is the movie itself makes zombies a reality. So there's a talk show, and they're doing zombie jokes, right? And there's a really cool remark in the movie, which is freaking cult classic, which is the host called the zombie Deadhead. And one of the army guys says, "Oh, we have to call them deadhead now. What is this world becoming?" So it's kind of like it's sort of really cool because they talk about the PC culture, politically correct culture. So now they're on the internet and they're seeing one of the clan that got kicked off. Said, "Hey, if you're able fighter and you want to do a change for your country, or you want to do the world a better place, come and join us. We're a group of survivor." So then there's the two, right? So the movie is actually really good. They will go back on the island, and the island will try to take it over because it's a safe place. Why is it a safe place? Because there's no in and out, right? The only people there are survivors, and there's no new zombie. There's no risk. It's safe, right? Um, One of the coolest thing is you establish that at the beginning, there's a father. The father has two daughters, so there's a lot of infighting within the family. But the daughter's gonna be important later on, right? So you go in, you meet the two clan. Our group decides to stick with the clan that no, if they'll kill them because they're not human, right? Then there's a zombie outbreak just to show them, right? And just to show them and saying like, hey, guess what? Those people are not human. Now the second clan, which believes that those people are sick, does a perfect thing. He takes the second daughter of the main guy, or the chief of the clan of people that believe that zombies should be killed, and he's like, hey, you think they're not human? Kill your own daughter. Go ahead. And then the daughter, she's a zombie, recognizes her sister, which I think they're treating her something. And she's like, so then she's like, her sister's like, no, wait, dad. She recognizes me. So she goes in and they're holding hand. And then the twin sister bites her, which makes her a zombie, right? So then he loses both his daughter, right? The story is actually really good because at the end you realize that none of them was right. None of them was right. The answer is to kill the zombies, but the answer is you're gonna kill all zombies, right? So the movie itself is actually really good. Actually, like really important in the zombie scene because it was one of the first zombie movie, not first zombie movie ever made, but in the specific genre, I should explain as to why zombies are what they are. Exploring what can we do with the genre of zombies is very important. My problem with the movie is simple. I have been watching Walking Dead for a while, and in The Walking Dead, this plot line of are zombies sick people, are zombies like we can save them, is something that we're seeing over and over and over and over and over again. It's seen 4 or 5 times. For example, it's seen with the farm where Urshel thinks the zombies are can be saved. It's scenes with Maggie and Lizzie and her sister, where Lizzie's like, no, 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 they're they're alive. You cannot kill them. They're alive, right? And she feeds them. You look at the another one, which is the Whisperer. The Whisperer, which they live among the zombies. And like, hey, you can guide them. They're still there, right? And then you see them with the enemy, the Variant, right? With the Variant, which is sort of zombies capable of sentient zombies. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So because I saw this multiple times, it didn't have the impact. So when you're watching the movie Survival of the Dead, you're supposed to ask yourself, if I was in the movie, which clan would I choose? But you don't, because you've seen it more time than once with Walking Dead. And lastly, we got Monster Hunter. So I'm gonna be honest, not a fan. Well, not a fan, but never got really introduced to the Monster Hunter series. My issue with the Monster Hunter series is that I played on PSP, on the first version, and I wasn't a fan of the fact that I had to, because I like to grind, I like to collect everything. So I was basically playing. I played for like 10 hours, and I was basically playing. And I was looking up like solution online, and they were saying like, okay, well, this is where you get your second weapon, right? So I was using all the durability to one weapon. I was going to get the second weapon, but I didn't have any good weapons. I would get killed. So like it's a grinding, but to get to grind, you need to use your primary resources, get secondary resources. You don't have your primary resources, but to move on, you need your first resources. So it's kind of fucked up. And then you have to sell the thing that you grind for to buy the primary resources. Like, what's the point of grinding if I'm using everything and I'm doing such a small profit? So I wasn't really a fan of it. However, the movie is actually really good. Is a perfect example to it. It's sort of weird because they're not going in depth enough in my taste. So, for example, so is this group of mercenary that goes in through like a portal, and through the portal they go to the monster hunter world, and the group gets killed really quickly. The only one that survive is the main character, which is again Alice from Resident Evil, or I don't remember her name. I'm sorry if you're watching this, which is super cool. And there was a photos on Instagram lately of her son and her daughter, and they're picture perfect. It's crazy, right? So yeah, so with that, so so she's able to survive through her friends dying, giving her time. So then she meet this guy, and this guy is actually knowing how to fight. He's really able to fight, so they get to know each other. He teaches her how to survive. There's really cool, really cool training scene. Then we meet Ron Perlman, which is I'm a big fan of because of his Hellboy movie, but it's Son of Anarchy, and I'm really big fan. So he goes in and he shows them like, hey, we know your world. You're not the first one to come here. We're gonna help you get to your world. Sure. The movie shines and is hunter elements. For example, um, the monster are super well made. It's very clever. For example, there's a part of the movie where you cannot defeat that guy, but if you take this one person poison and you poison the guy, you can kill him. That actually is really cool. The fact that he's teaching her the kid that she finds that is used to monster, the teacher is absolutely phenomenal. But there's a lot of it's there's a lot of flaw though. For example, she's being used as bait once, and then she's like, okay, well, I'm super thirsty. He tells her, hey, there's water there, drink it. And then there's an other enemy. He's like, ha, you're a bait again. So it's supposed to be this really funny moment, but like, dude, you already used it a couple times here. Um, you get the whole crew of the main character die, and their death doesn't serve really a purpose. Like, oh my god, this world is dangerous. That's it, right? You got Ron Perlman coming in, and there's a whole group of survivor. There's cat. There's if you know the Monster Universe, the Monster Hunter universe. There's literally cats. There's a lot of cats. Which as your companion, I'm not really sure because I never played. But then this is introduced, and 20 minutes later, they're not. The movie is ending. So you spend such a long time trying to fight one enemy to get to your truck because there's weapon on the truck. Do you realize that the weapon that you were able to use on the truck, they're not that useful. The weapon that you ended up using before are way more useful. Um, you go back to your world because you open up a portal. Enemies are sitting through. You defeat the enemy. That's it. So the movie is actually pretty good. It's entertaining. It's not the most interesting movie. It's not the best movie I've ever seen. There's a lot of effort in the graphics. The graphics are really well made. The CGI is really well made. But it falls short. There's time where it's trying to be funny, but it's not funny. There's trying to there's time where it's trying to be a good action movie, but the action is so short. For example, um, there's a monster called Diabolos, which is crazy strong, right? And we go through every single technique to fight him off, and we're going through everything to fight him off, and we succeed in fighting him off because she's able to make him slower than she's using a rocket launcher, and she's able to kill him. But no, because at the end, what happened is the guy that trains her jump on his head, is using the sword, and plants it in the head of the Diablo. It's like all that's it for mission to get the weapon when the one that you had was already enough. So there's a lot of going around in circle, which I didn't really enjoy. So yeah, that is pretty much it. So otherwise, pretty good movie. I don't know if I would recommend it. It's just that I watched Underworld one, which was great. I watched The Shining, which was great, and these two movie blows everything out of the water that I watched yesterday. So in comparison, this week it doesn't make them bad movie in comparison, just better. There you go. Holy, it's 7:23. Woo! Don't blink, it's your boy Inko Computer Show. We're doing well because having a fantastic day on this glorious, and I do mean glorious, freaking day 278. I do have to hurry. I have to go to my father's house in not too long and very soon. So we're gonna do a short tower talk where of course I'm gonna talk about every single playthrough because every single playthrough doesn't need to be talked about. There hasn't been anything new, so I want to apologize because yesterday was no, yesterday was Monday. I ended up not having Wi-Fi. The modem overeats. I was sleeping through most of it. I ended up not being able to purchase every single one of the event relics that I wanted to buy. So that kind of sucks. So I'm sorry about that. We messed up. It's my fault. We messed up because of that. So I do apologize. And I was trying my best to do everything, but we weren't able to. And that sucked because we did work our best. So in a hurry, I'm going to talk about two playthroughs though. You saw me. You mentioned you noticed that I was mentioning less everything. Everything is in a perfect spot right now. Everything is a perfect spot. We're having a lot of coin per session. We're having more coin than we can spend. Right now, what we're doing is we're doing our labs, right? So orb speed, game speed, and attack speed. Speed. So yeah, so like I'm saying, right now we're really working on establishing the basic. So right now we reached 2,500. We got labs for days. Everything right now is perfectly set up. It's perfectly set up. We got tons uh of freaking labs. We got Death Wave. We got Chrono Field. No more batteries. No more storage. I don't have time for you right now, dude. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't have enough storage. We've been filming the whole morning, so I didn't check how much charge I have. Like I'm saying, for this, for everything we have everything. We have labs for ultimate weapon, Chrono Field, Death Wave. Right now, my biggest issue is that I just have to wait. So no matter what I do, um, that I have a primo. So whatever I do, I just have to have labs connect. So the goal is to continue playing the game in tier one. This is why I'm talking about less. Because right now we're in the sweet spot where we're just farming. We're farming for gems to open up lab slot or a card slot so we get stronger. Next tournament I'm gonna be able to upgrade my ultimate weapon, but for now, this one is really well started out. For merchants, right now we're gonna talk about merchant. Merchant, we're doing really well. Yesterday was our third day, which is today, is our third day of building it up. I think I'm gonna need tonight also, but we're doing really well. We're able to do like till 300, so this is phenomenal. We've been working a lot on damage, attack speed, and lab speed. Again, we're working on damage and attack speed because I want to be able to do crowd control and I want to be able to heal. Right now, it's not doing super well. We're getting some increments of increase, but right now we're kind of hitting the same spot as everything. We have some labs that we need to work on. Right now, we're kind of weak, but we're doing good. So right now, what we're doing is, as we every single playthrough, right now we're kind of farming. So we get the basic, which is cash, coin, which is attack, which is attack, not attack speed, sorry, which is range, which is multi shot, which is knockback, which is every single one of them that I have. Okay, critical range, multi shot, rapid fire, defense and damage, lifesteal, knockback, and orb speed. We just have to golding them up, right? Honestly, everything right now, the plan is super simple. All I have to do is three things: get stronger. The goal is to reach tier 1,000. So then I can take it a bit more idle. The goal is just to buy all of these reward to go ahead and buy the free upgrades. So maximizing my coin and cash income, get the free upgrades so it become more idle, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. So this is really freaking good. This is really freaking good. Right now we're still at 2.5. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my father's house soon. I'm gonna move on to game speed. I should be able to do it by tonight. Uh tier 3.5 or 4. Tonight again is time to just farm. Once we've done that, because right now, like I want to do videos, I'm doing videos, which is great. I can play on that, but I want to stream, and streaming I need to be at least 1,000. So that's gonna be kind of tough, but it's super easy. We did it before, and we're well on our way. Now there has been a new event, and I'm gonna be able to show you that. This event is one of my favorites. It's actually a really cool event. It is Prismatic Line. The cool thing with this one is, I truly believe, that only Crown has Prismatic Line. Dude, it's insane. I'm holding the other tablet. It's a tablet, bro. It's a tablet, and compared to this one, it's so much smaller, so much lighter. I gotta say, I do like this being that big, but to transport it, it's not easy. I want to check something out. Yes, holy shit, dude. Holy shit, cannot believe it. I can't believe it. Crown is the only playthrough that has it. That has this. So this is kind of insane because usually I don't have to worry about anything at all. So the fact that the only Crown has it is kind of cool. So we're gonna be showing you the event is Prismatic Line. I gotta say, I have to be honest here. Prismatic background and tower was my favorite for such a long time. It was my favorite for such a long time. It's 7:30, guys. I have to take a shower. I have to prepare clothes, and I have to go to my father's house. I hope I'm not late. So, Prisma Decline, I used it for so freaking long. I'm gonna go ahead and check out the relics. So we got Prismatic Star, recovery amount by 2%, kind of good. Rainbow, not by force, by 5%, is good for every playthrough. One of the only things that's good for every playthrough. Light Spectrum, torn by 1%. Light Scattering, attack speed by 2%, kind of really good. We got the last one. Prismatic Shard, damage per meter by 5%. That was the last one. Reflection Array, coin earned by 2%. So this was a really good event. And now we have our what should we call it? We have our we have our rotating relics. We have Plasma Globe, which was for the plasma event. Bot range by 1 meter is insane. Fisherman set increased defense absolute by 2%. Really good. Wind, damage per meter by 5%. And Candy Core, damage by 5%. You see what I'm saying? It does feel like there's so much more. So much more. Relics for offensive. I'm sorry it's just a short the tower. It's just that I'm learning with time that's like for example, like most of my playthroughs right now are in a state of limbo. For example, Frenchie and vods, they only have 2 slots. The next thing, but this is not gonna be always gonna be that way, because I'm telling you, like in 2 weeks or maybe a month, I don't know. I have to say, I don't know. I'm gonna have enough to do everything. For example, with Resistance, right? I have an event where I have to buy 8 card, right? You guys know that, not a big deal. That's not complex, right? Well, the event where we have to buy a card, I have what? I got maybe 2 more events where I have to buy every single card. The rest are all taken care of. And then this is gonna be for Resistance. This is gonna be for Resistance is gonna be for Voiceless. So I'm gonna be able to buy all the card slots. So I'm gonna be moving on a lot faster. We might make it out of. I hope so. Fuck. We might make it out of freaking Platinum League. That would be so nice, right? I'm actually really excited about what life has in store for us. But like I'm saying right now, and also you have to understand that a lot of the lab that I'm doing with playthroughs takes months, maybe like a year. Like lab speed takes years to finish, right? Years. Now this is not true. So, for example, if you start today, or if you start like a year ago and you didn't touch it, and then you're at a certain point, and then you use Elite Cell, it takes a lot less time. But to beat that, you have to do a lot of shit, and most people won't do that a lot of shit. So yeah, so most of my playthroughs they're kind of limbo right now, and they're waiting for a lab to finish, right? So finishing a lab, and then there's gonna be a point when we get tired, and I think moving on is gonna be the what we're gonna do exactly. Maybe one point I'm gonna be tired of the progress not being almost non-existent. I'm gonna take a random playthrough, for example, Frontier vods. I'm gonna completely change everything. I'm gonna completely change everything. I'm gonna change the labs. I'm gonna change everything. But you have to understand something also. Um, right now it's costing us 2,600 diamonds per week. Per week. So I'm in a position where not only do I don't that I not have enough diamonds per week, but I'm using every single diamond that I have. So forget about card slots. Forget about lab slots. So these are both things that are important for growth. So why am I not expanding on it? Because like you can have a very good relic and you miss it because you didn't have enough, and that relic come back in a year. It's really good relics, you know. So I'm getting in a position where I have to make sacrifices, and sadly, the progress is sacrifice. So yeah, so that's the plan for today. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be playing tower today. I'm gonna be leaving everything on and a crown, and that's it. I'm gonna go to my father's house. I'm gonna go shopping and after that I'm gonna go sleep. So that's pretty much my day. I gotta go to my father's house. I love you guys. Okay.
My strategy this time.
Would you rather spend money on gas or charge this for pennies? This electric scooter delivers up to 40 miles of range. It's 34 miles per hour and features a powerful 1200-watt motor. Smooth ride, strong brakes, and a big discount right now. It's tagged. Would you rather spend money on gas or charge this for pennies? This electric scooter delivers up to 40 miles of range. It's 34
Wow.
miles.
Alors, comment se passent les ventes de nos mini-motos? On n'en a pas vendu une seule. Quoi? D'autres arrivent à écouler tout leur stock plein tarif, et nous, même avec une grosse réduction, on n'en vend pas? Peut-être que notre réduction est trop grosse. Les gens pensent que c'est trop beau pour être vrai. N'importe quoi. C'est une offre limitée dans le temps. Elle est équipée d'un moteur essence 499cc, fiable et sécurisé, de pneus tout-terrain et d'un frein à disque arrière pour une meilleure maîtrise. La selle est rembourrée, les guidons sont réglables. Le tout pour un max de confort. C'est plus...
Domlink, it's your boy. I'm kind of doing well, having a wonderful day. So we just finished doing a video. We did 2 hours and 15 minutes. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in the shower. I'm gonna prepare to close with my father's house, bring the oil, and that is pretty much it. So all in all, it's gonna be a pretty good day. I'm excited for this. I got this. I'm excited for it. Let's freaking go. Before that, I have to upload though. What can I upload? And she will. Day 278. Today is 77. Sunrise. Then you take out the show. You bring the best of both worlds. Come on, Ink. Shower time. Then you have to freaking upload, dude. Oh. You also have to do your edits. Fuck. It's okay, we can do it when I go sleep. You bring the best of both worlds. Guys, I'm gonna go in the shower, but I have to put the AC on. Because I need that phone to upload as quick as possible. If you can, I'm gonna have enough storage to go to my father's house. If I cannot, I don't know. You bring the best of both worlds. Shower time. Right. So the blinder. You can take a shower. We're not naked for the eyes to see. See how I just ran? Is this a loss of time? Waste of time? In paradigm, die. Tasting my freaking lime. closed. It was down in the water. Didn't know what hit her. Fuck. It's 50. Yeah, I'm gonna be late. And ways to say goodnight. Like I should. My dad, real quick. Papa, ça va? Ah, ah. Allez, c'est quand même votre conversation, peut-être de faire aller. You said you're meant to be. That it's not you, it's me. Help me. to say goodbye. Oui, pas ça va? Oui, écoute, j'appelle juste pour te dire que j'étais un petit peu en retard. Là c'est trop tard parce que je suis en route, là. Je sors puis je m'en viens.
Ok.
Fait que, qu'est-ce qui est arrivé? Pourquoi je suis un peu en retard? C'est ça s'appelle, souvent ça arrive que j'oublie de checker mes poches.
Oui.
Bon, ben, je vais sûr de checker mes poches avant que je vienne.
Ok.
Fait que je suis là dans le maximum 10 minutes, ok?
Ok, c'est bon.
Bye, à tantôt! Okay, good. So now we get a bunch of plates with the clothes. Bon. What? I ain't got time for you. I ain't got time for you to call me, dude. Drop the tablets. Not broken, but fuck, dude. You have to be more careful. That is not you, it's me. I'm living life just like I should. Oh, like I should. You said you're meant to be. That it's not you, it's me. You're living like. Okay. Good night, the tower. Sword. What if I actually need you? Speedster, no. Vods, yes.